Okay, so it seems like there's been some pretty big news in regards to Mujin, obviously the creator of the video, the original video, talking about the Sykkuno situation. This one here saying how to go from a viral star to a serial cheater and manipulator, the lies of Sykkuno. Now, of course, this ended up getting a lot of backlash from a lot of people, especially after Sykkuno actually came out with his response, and the girlfriend obviously said how much stress a lot of this stuff put her through, and yeah, people were not happy, right? And I think it is one of these things where, yeah, I think he messed up in a lot of cases, especially with the powder stuff as well, which he doesn't actually mention in this video. But I did want to go through, you know, exactly what goes on in this video, any quick kind of TLDR kind of thing, as well as, you know, exactly what will happen moving forwards, what people think about this as well, because of course there's a lot of people that have a lot of different opinions about Mujin and the video that he made, as well as this apology as well, because it seems like this has actually been pretty well received. 23,000 likes to 3.7 thousand dislikes. I mean, I feel like that's pretty well received in, you know, kind of contrast to the last video, to the actual original one, which got a lot more dislikes, especially after people started, you know, kind of turning on him and all of this kind of stuff after finding out more about the kind of video. So again, you know, I feel like it worked somewhat, right? And so essentially in the video, what he talks about is the fact that apparently they met on April 7th, which is what he said. And yeah, said that the doc was apparently coming out on the 10th with or without him. So you know, he's kind of addressing the parts of this being like a collaboration type thing. Maybe they were working on it together or whatever. But he says that essentially hemomalvt was planning on releasing the Google Doc on the 10th, and obviously told him about it. Yeah, he decided on the 7th that he would make a video on it whenever it came out, right? But essentially, yeah, he said that he thought that the voice call was enough of Sykkuno's side of the story, as he likes to get both sides of the story, as he says in the videos, which usually is the typical Mujin thing, right? And I said that in the last video that we covered talking about this, right? Is the fact that I think what Mujin did here in terms of the Sykkuno video is he went against his usual kind of formal content, which is, you know, hearing both sides of the story and then making a video on it. Because as I said, you know, usually, you know, my kind of content, for example, is I will get into it as quickly as possible, as soon as possible, and kind of, you know, just see what is out there and then make a follow-up video if someone else responds, right? Whereas Mujin is more the type to sit back, kind of watch everything going on, and then obviously upload a video maybe a week or two later whenever things have calmed down or whenever things have kind of settled a little bit more, and there's kind of like perspectives from both sides of this kind of situation, especially whenever it comes to a Google Doc and calling someone out and, you know, waiting for Sykkuno's response. Because usually in a Mujin video, right, let's just say that this never existed, right, at one point. Usually, you know, the hemomalvt doc would come out and everyone would cover in it, whatever. And then obviously Mujin's reply would come out with the girlfriend. And then Mujin, sorry, did I say Mujin? Then, sorry, Sykkuno's reply would come out with Sykkuno's girlfriend. And then, of course, then Mujin would make the video, right? Once his reply comes out, he would make a video and then discuss it. Maybe even wait a little bit further to see if anything else happens and then make the video, right? That would be his usual style of content. But this has kind of gone against that, right? And I think that is why he's gotten so much backlash over that, right? And obviously, apparently he said that he wanted to amplify the situation because obviously hemomalvt was a smaller creator. He said that he took a risk and it didn't work out, which, yeah, no, it didn't. He said his idea to use it was his idea to use the word predator. So he's taking responsibility for using that kind of word, which obviously it was not his intention for the implied nature of, like, you know, children and things like that, which of course a lot of people have been trying to you know, do. So again, he didn't imply, you know, think it was like his intention to do that, but he realizes that it will kind of affect things that way, and he said that he wouldn't do it in the future as well. He also admits that the video was rushed. So yeah, of course, that's one thing that people were heavily criticizing him about, saying that, hey, if you only met on April 7th, that means you had 3 days to make the video, and so you've known this person for 3 days and you decided to make a video in 3 days without doing maybe enough kind of, you know, looking into it, right? And then he would go on to the fact that he apologizes to Sykkuno's girlfriend for accidentally, you know, for her username accidentally being included, and apparently a lot of people found her and things like that, so she's been getting a lot of harassment. He also claims that apparently, because obviously XQC left a comment on his video about the video and whatever, kind of going against him. He said that he didn't delete XQC's comment, and he does actually show proof. He shows that it was still there in the YouTube comment section, and I can understand that, right? The YouTube comment section can be a little bit weird sometimes. I don't know why. I've had this before with people in my comment section. It just looks like it's deleted, but it's just not on like my end or other people's ends. So again, I don't know what happened there, but of course, sometimes it is just something that happens. He also says that he didn't make any title or thumbnail changes to the video to kind of like, you know, cover up for a lawsuit or whatever. And he shows that as well through view stats. He also said that he didn't make the video to get with the woman, obviously, that were involved in the situation. Obviously, a lot of people try to claim that. He also says that he talks about like the kind of girlfriend's response, and also Sykkuno's response, and apologizes to the girlfriend for any, you know, added stress that was kind of added on through this video. And he says that from now on that he'll make a video after the news drops, like his usual kind of form of content. And that apparently this video itself, the apology, the kind of you know, response, or whatever you want to call it, right, will be live for another 7 days, and then it will be taken down. So this video here will be taken down in 7 days, and the original video was taken down as well. So the original video is down. It will not be up anymore, which is very interesting because, of course, obviously the Google Doc is still up and things like that. I wonder what hemomalvt will have to say about that one, because, of course, you know, I don't know whether she's going to be supportive of that and say, hey, oh yeah, okay, file off, or if she's going to not be too happy because, of course, it was a video heavily supporting her and that Google Doc, right? But hey, you know, we'll have to see. And there's been a lot of kind of comments and reactions to this. Also, that was the entirety of the video, by the way, if you wanted to know that kind of stuff, as well as, you know, some people saying, a legal mindset saying, good on Mujin for course correcting, and I really hope he truly commits himself to the honest reflection and improvement of going forwards. He should correct things with powder as well, as that crash out was uncalled for. And yeah, that's the only thing that I think he doesn't mention in this video, which I think would probably make things, if not even better, is apologizing to Powder for the crash out that he had the other day over, you know, her comments on the kind of whole situation itself, saying that she was going to get exposed for being with a black person, which I thought was pretty crazy. So again, yeah, a lot of people asking him to kind of apologize for that one too, because again, I do think, you know, he should do. I think it was a pretty crazy, you know, thing to say towards someone, right? Of course, this is the pressure that I'm saying here, right? Saying Mujin was never really a reliable narrator, so my video eventually comes out about me being cancelled by my audiences for secretly having dated a black guy, right? I think it's like, okay. Said hopefully he truly learns and grows from this. I honestly feel like he wasn't the primary orchestrator of this situation, but he made a monumental screw up, and it's going to take a long time for him to make up for this and rebuild his integrity. He said it's good to see people are able to admit their mistakes. Hope he can be better in the future. So that's definitely a start. Now he needs to apologize for crushing out on Powder if he wants to get some of his goodwill back. Said still no apology for crashing out on Powder. Kind of expected that, to be honest. Said once again, this is another case, so think about the consequences, no matter how small, before you blank do anything. If he didn't get as much backlash as he had, he wouldn't have apologized. Also, where's the apology to Powder? So yeah, obviously some people still angry at him, which I think, you know, it's a very mixed kind of, I guess, bag in terms of reactions to this. Some people are mad still. Some people are forgiving, saying, you know, okay, that's fair enough. You know, you put out a good kind of response and everything. And obviously some people still asking, hey, where's the apology to Powder? Because I do think, honestly, there should be some kind of apology there for the kind of messages and stuff that he's sending her way, right? Because yeah, it was just kind of uncalled for, especially now that he's deleted the video as well, right? But again, it seems like this has been a pretty interesting situation to follow. You know, people constantly saying the other person also deserves an apology from Mujin as Powder. His crash out against her was weird to say the least, with racist overtones and a completely uncalled for attack on her character. See, that's what they're saying there. Said I hope the people who attacked me for calling out the bullshit of Mao and Elfie and co feel how stupid they are for that. Said, so what about an apology to Powder? You know, again, literally everyone is talking about Powder. Like, no joke. I'd say about 80% of people are like, okay, yeah, sure, you apologize to Sykkuno and the girlfriend or whatever. where's the apology to Powder? Which I thought was quite funny. But yeah, obviously I do think he does need to apologize to her, right? I think that is essentially, that would have been like the kind of cherry on top of the cake in this video if he did actually end up doing that. I think this would have been much more well accepted than it already is, because again, you know, people just want him to apologize for that one. But I don't know, maybe it's because he's focusing on the kind of other stuff, you know, with the whole you know, Sykkuno and girlfriend response and not apology, well, yeah, apology from Sykkuno, I guess. I don't know. But said, I knew that the next Mujin video will be about Mujin. Said, you know, it's bad when the monotone voice comes out. True. Said, the way I tap so fast. Don't worry, Mujin. Just talk about David in your next video. Easy redemption, which again, you know, it seems like a lot of people have been supporting him, you know, after this apology, because again, a lot of fans of Mujin were not happy with, you know, the way that he conducted himself surrounding the situation. And obviously, even he admits that in the video, right? That, you know, if someone wants to unsubscribe or, you know, not follow him anymore, he thinks, okay, you know, that's fair enough, right? Because again, it does kind of, you know, it affects a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to, I guess, lose their trust with him, right, over this situation, even though he has apologized, right? Some people are just like that, right? They're just like, okay, yeah, I don't think I can really trust that, even if you do apologize, because, you know, it's happened once. So again, it really just depends, you know, what your personal feelings are on the apology, and, you know, obviously the situation as a whole, right? But yeah, that's probably all for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.